Hello and welcome to Tech 24 with me, Annelise Borges. Coming up, video on Instagram promises to shake up the world of movies on social networks. We see if Vine has anything to fear. And in Test 24, we try out Urban Hello's first project, the home phone. But first, let's take a look at the figure of the week, brought to you by Le Journal du Net.
Could paper books be going the way of the dodo? In the United States, electronic book sales have been climbing steadily. If current rates continue, ebooks are expected to begin outselling conventional books in 2017. France's publishers can breathe easy, however. Despite ebooks' popularity there too, the trend is far slower, and paper books are set to dominate the market until 2026.
Facebook's Instagram announced a new feature to its photo service. Video on Instagram allows users to capture and share videos using the same palette of effects. In clips lasting up to 15 seconds, users can apply one of 13 filters, pick a cover photo, and even make small edits like erase the last clip they take. According to the service, video on Instagram saw 5 million uploads in the first 24 hours. And that's bad news for Twitter-owned Vine. The 6-second video sharing service snatched up 13 million users between January and June on iOS, and the app just launched on Android. So now to discuss Instagram's move and if Vine has anything to fear, I'm joined by a specialist. He's called the King of Vine. Fan, thanks so much for joining us. Your stop-motion Vines are pretty impressive. I would like to ask you, how did you discover Vine, and what about it did you first connect with?
Well, I discovered all my news from like Twitter, and someone put Vine was public for everyone. So then I was like, I downloaded it. I'm always trying to look for a new social, and that's how I found it. It's just through Twitter. And I enjoyed the interface of it all, and it was just very simple, and the feature of how to record things was very unique, and I used it for my benefit when I did my stop motion.
And have you checked out video on Instagram yet? What did you think of it, and are we likely to see you on it?
When I was watching the streaming of when they released the news, and I thought 15 seconds was kind of long. That's my first thought about it. And I will be on Instagram. I have been signed with, I'm currently doing things for Peanuts Worldwide. I'm now going to do the Snoopygram on Instagram. So I will be doing stop motions of Peanut related things for the Snoopy account on Instagram too.
All right. Your talent has been acknowledged on Vine, not only through the Editor's Pick stamp that granted you thousands of followers, but also with brands that discovered you and signed you to work with them. At the age of 23, do you hope to turn your Vine skills into a larger career?
Currently, Vining is sort of like my career now. I have so many projects lined up. I have a lot of future releases coming out in like this week and next week, and I've been asked by a lot of really interesting companies and programs to make Vines for them. So I think I probably would like to pursue something related to Vine or maybe animation.
And if you have do you have one piece of advice to give to those that are watching us if they want to get a little closer to Vine? Do you have any piece of advice to give us?
Well, I like to be creative on Vine. Some people, there's a lot of funny people too. But for me, I like to, try to put my imagination out there. So if you think you're artistic or anything, Vine needs that more. So I would definitely check it out if you're a creative person, an imaginative person, or someone who's really interested in drawing or enjoying what I do. I do animation, and there's a lot of people I've done what I've done, and a lot of them have been improved, and I've inspired many, and I find that really interesting. So they should try to get on it.
That's really cool. Thank you so much, Fan, for joining us today from California. And we're going to have to move on with Tech 24. It's time for Test 24. The home phone is the first project by the Parisian startup Urban Hello. The idea was to build a landline phone for the whole family, one you can use while doing other stuff around the house, like cooking, for example. Marc tested it for us. Marc, nobody's really investing in landline phones anymore. Isn't it a risky move for the Parisian startup?
Well, on the one hand, you're absolutely right. You know, there's an uphill struggle against Skype, for instance, because, you know, you can talk as a group on Skype. But the fact is, we still do all use, you know, house phones around the house, particularly, you know, certainly my mother uses it around. And the cooking example that you've used, that's really where it comes into its own. It has one big USP for me, and a unique selling point, and that is the quality of the sound. 360-degree high-definition sound, and that's not something that you will get from putting your iPhone or your smartphone down on speakerphone.
Is that its most unique feature?
To me, that would be the reason why I would buy it. I mean, you know, it's sleek, it's nice to look at, although you know they've chosen an interesting style, but they have coloured it in. You can get it in different colours, so it can blend in. I mean, if I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys, this doesn't look good on your antique table at home if you have one. What it does look nice on will probably be your big, you know, marble island in the middle of your modern kitchen. This is something that, you know, would be good. And 10 days, it claims to have 10 days. I didn't test it out for 10 days without recharging it, but 10 days off the hook, 8 hours
That's
on
an interesting
speaker.
feature.
Yeah. And, you know, €99. Not bad, yeah.
How did you rate it?
Right, well, in terms of the rating, design and appearance, I do like the way, as I said, if you live in an antique house, probably don't go for this, but as I don't, gave it 9 out of 10 for that. Very easy to use, works with any adapter in Europe, and value for money, €99, I think that's a good price, and I would buy that. I would buy this, you know, 7.6 overall. I would buy the home phone by Urban Hello.
The only thing that, like, it's coming to my mind now is I imagine this being tested in my Brazilian family, for example, everybody talking at the same time, it would just never work.
I think this probably got that issue around it. But again, if you want to be able to talk together to your grandparents who aren't on Skype, again, it goes back to the quality of the sound. You're better off using this phone than any others. But I still think uphill struggle against things like Skype.
As long as you don't have a loud Brazilian family like me, you're fine. Thank you very much for that, Marc, and thank you for watching this edition of Tech24. Don't forget, you can get in touch via Facebook or on Twitter. We leave you today with I Love Golf. Forget Kanye West and Jay-Z. Meet 5-year-old Caleb C, who seems to be on the right track to becoming a superstar rapper himself. But Caleb isn't interested in money and chicks. No, he's all about golf. And I Love Golf is his first release, a video uploaded by his dad. Caleb, we're looking forward to the next hit. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.
I love golf. I love golf.